Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Raja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Radha, Jaya Kunda Vihare, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunda Vihare. Shiva Bharati. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Datajaya Udiraya 27, chapter 9, text 23. Drishta Maya Divi Vibo Akila Dishnya Panam Dishtamaya Divi Vibo Kila Dishnya Panam. So I should use the meter for the Brahma Samhita, shouldn't I? Dista maya divi vibo kila dishnapanam. Ayu Sriyo Vibhava Ichiti Yan Jano Yam Ayam Ayusriyo Vibhava Ichiti Yan Jano Yam. Ye Smart Pituhu Kupita Hasa Vichrimbita Bru Yesmat Pitu Kupita Hasa Vichrimbita Bu Vishpurjitena Lulitaha Sa Tu Te Nirashtaha Vishpurjitena Lulita Satu Te Nirashta. Someone remind me how the Brahma Samhita meter goes. I forget that. Tamaham bhajami. Okay. Dishta maya di vibo kila dishnapanam. Ayu shriyo vibhava ichati yanjano yam. Yesmat pitu kupita hasa vichrimbita bru. Vishpurjitena lulita satu te nirashta. Krishna maya vibo kila dishnapanam. Ayu shriyo vibhava ichati yanjano yam. Yesmat pitu kupita hasa vichrimbita bru. Vishpujitena lulita satu te nirasaha. Krishna maya di Krishnapanam. Ayu Bhava Ichati Yanjano Yam. Yesmat pitu kupita hasa vichrimbita bru. Vishpujitena lulita satu te nirashtaha. Yesmat pitu kupita hasa vichrimbita bru. Shasta. Dishta maya divivibo kila dishnapanam. Ayusiyo vibhava ichitati kanyuyam. Yesmat pitu kupita hasa vishrimbita bru. Vishpurjitena lulita satute nirashta. Dishta maya divivibo kila vishnapanam. Ayusiyo vibhava Yesmat pitu kupita hasa vishrimbita bru. Vishta maya diribo kila dishnapanam. Ayusiya vibhava itati anjano yam. Yesmat itu kupita hasa vishrimbita bru. Vishtaha hath been seen practically. Maya, me, Devi, in the higher planetary systems. Vivo, O my Lord. Akila, Vishnya, Vanam, of the chiefs of different states or planets. Vayu, the duration, Vivaha, opulences, Vibhava, glories, influence, Ichati, desire, Yad, all of which, Jana Ayam, these in general, Ye, all of which, duration of life, opulence, etc. Who of our father, Hiranyakashipu, Kupita Hasa, by his critical laughing when angry, Vichrimbita, being expanded, Bru, of the eyebrows, Vishpurjitena, simply by the feature, Lulitaha, pulled down or finished, Saha, he, my father, tu, but, te, by you, Nirashtaha, completely vanquished. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. My dear Lord, people in general want to be elevated to the higher planetary systems for a long duration of life, opulence and enjoyment. But I have seen all of these through the activities of my father. When my father was angry, and he laughed sarcastically at the demigods, they were immediately vanquished simply by seeing the movements of his eyebrows. Yet my father, who was so powerful, has now been vanquished by you within a moment. Purport. Within this material world, one should understand by practical experience the value of material opulence, longevity, and influence. We have actual experience that in this planet there have been many great politicians and military commanders like Napoleon, Hitler, Subhash Chandra Bose, and Gandhi. But as soon as their lives were finished, their popularity, influence, and everything else were finished also. Prahlad Maharaj formerly gathered the same experience by seeing the activities of Hiranyakashipu, his great father. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj did not give any importance to anything in this material world. No one can maintain his body or material achievements forever. A Vaishnava can understand that nothing within this material world, not even that which is powerful, opulent, and influential, can endure. At any time, such things may be vanquished. And who can vanquish them? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should conclusively understand that no one is greater than the Supreme Great. Since the Supreme Great demands Sarvadaman Paritaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja, every intelligent man must agree to this proposal. One must surrender unto the Lord to be saved from the wheel of repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. Okay, the translation again. My dear Lord, people in general want to be elevated to the higher planetary systems for a long duration of life, opulence, and enjoyment. But I have seen all of these through the activities of my father. When my father was angry and he laughed sarcastically at the demigods, they were immediately vanquished simply by seeing the movements of his eyebrows. Yet my father was so powerful, has now been vanquished by you within a moment. Amagyanatinirandasya gnanjana shalakaya chakshumilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadamtikam Andeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sadhivam Asataitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavandu Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Chaitam Suratupango Mama Manda Mate Gati Matsavasva Padambojo Radha Madana Mohano Vanchakalpataribhescha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langati Girim Yakripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimakte Bhaktivedanta Swamim Miti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivesesha Shunyavadi Paschajade Zatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Madhava Shri Varmati Smaranti Sarva Savakari Shumadhavam. Okay, good morning. In this chapter, Prahlad pacifies the Lord with prayers. We come to this text where he speaks about his father. And I think what he speaks about, and this is my humble opinion, is about balance. Balance in everything in this universe. We can see on one side we have Hiranyakashipu, which is the embodiment of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text 4. Nambudapo dimanascha kroda parusham evacha agyanam chabichatasya patasam padam asurim. So Hiranyakashipu was in the personification of pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. And this, as Krishna tells Arjuna, are those qualities belonging to the demonic nature. Instead, on the other side, and this is where the balance comes in, Hiranyakashipu was so great. He took over the rule of the universe after his great brother Hiranyaksha, another demon. And so, in order to balance this out, I believe Krishna gave him a son called Prahlad Maharaj, and Prahlad Maharaj was the embodiment of 16.1 Gita, where the description is basically in the first verse. I know there are the 3 verses, but Abhayam Sattva Samsudi Jnanam Yoga Vyavashtiti Dhanam Dhamas Cha Yagyas Cha Svadhyaya Stapa Arjavan. So Abhayam is fearlessness, something which Hiranyakashipu did not have. He was fearful. What was he fearful about? His body, his losing his life. And all the other qualities, he was not, the other qualities of 16.1 were purification of your existence. There was definitely nothing that Hiranyakashipu was involved in, nor the cultivation of spiritual knowledge. He was not charitable. He was self-controlled when he was asked. He was trying to get all these blessings from Brahma, but he was not charitable, and he didn't perform sacrifices to God. He didn't study the Vedas. He wasn't austere, and nor was he simple. Now, this is the balance that Krishna created for us to see, that he tries to balance out every living being, because every living being is part and parcel of him. Where there are miscreants and those that deviate from the path of Krishna consciousness, he gives someone else who is Krishna conscious, that person Krishna consciousness. And that here in this case of Hiranyakashipu was Prahlad Maharaj. And when things become extreme, that balance becomes unbalanced, then yada yada hi damasya, wherever and whenever there is a decline in religion, tradition, Krishna will come, and then he will deal with people accordingly. We live today in a world where religion and its tradition has been replaced by the god of science and economics, so technology and economy. In the light of science and economics, we actually do not have what do you call it, a lot of good things to say about science and technology. And and this can be shown not by me, but it's an old story about a man who bought a gold ornate cage. He was really proud of it. He cleaned it every day, shined it. It was gold. It looked brilliant in the centerpiece of his living room. But all his friends and his family were quite how do you call it, shocked by the fact that he didn't feed the dying bird from hunger inside that cage. And this is what Hiranyakashipu was really into, his cage. The cage is the body. Yeah, we all have cages, different kinds of cages. Hiranyakashipu in particular and his brother were into having a beautiful body, etc. But the bird, the soul, was dying inside of hunger for spiritual food. And it's a fact that modern culture and the day that we live in is building elaborate cages in which our soul is being imprisoned by material desires. And despite all the sophistication that we see around us, from smartphones to electric cars, civilization in general has failed to see the inner meaning of life. And this is where everything becomes dangerous, and the path and our duty becomes unclear. We're not immune to these things. We face these things every day, and the only medicine that we've got is what Srila Prabhupada gave us. Shastra, Hare Krishna mantra, and Sangha. The problem with our civilization is that we put importance on economic and social needs, and this is woven into the web or the cloth of cause and effect, and which we as jivas are having less and less control over. We try to replace the natural order of things with artificial ones, and these are all aimed at satisfying our mundane desires. You look at everything is fast now. Fast food, fast cars, fast tracking. You don't have to go to shop anymore. You can just go on Amazon and get everything now. So we have things for other nonsense, sit at home and watch television or something. And then we have problems that we try to solve. We find we have problems like pollution, climate crisis. We try to solve them by making little adjustments to the balance of life, without actually any clear knowledge of the consequences. Very good example is Tesla, the electric car. It's they tell you that you take away the pollution away from the city, but the thing is, how do you produce the electricity? You use fossil fuel in many cases to produce electricity. In order to produce so much electricity, I don't know if you've seen an electric car in a city. It's plugged in for 12 to 24 hours before it gets charged. So, Shishikodanita Mai Posashi Ki. So we're stumbling in the dark, or we're actually chasing mirages in the desert, and led by a thirst for something which we don't know. We are trapped by blindness, and we misjudge everything, and then eventually we kill our souls. Krishna has given us a beautiful, you can call it a garden, the material world to live in. It's like a painting. If you look at the paintings by Dr. Prabhu, they're painting, but it's no use knowing the colors, because if you don't appreciate it, the real beauty of the painting. Because in every painting here, for example, there's a divine purpose. In everything in life, there is a divine purpose, and we don't. A lot of people don't actually see that. Science may make it, possible for us to manipulate nature and bring benefits like medicines, etc. But then at the same time, it has created dangers. What kind of dangers can you get from medicine, you ask me? Well, there's addiction. We have, I don't know about Britain because I live in Croatia. But when I was living in Italy for 25 years, the painkillers, for example, are very addictive. They become, a lot of young people are using them instead of, because they're legal. You can buy. It's a drug. It's a legal drug. Why? Because painkillers, a lot of painkillers contain synthetic morphine, and you know what morphine can do to you. In fact, after the like after the war, for example, my father lost his hand in the war, and he was given so much morphine to relieve the pain from the loss of his hand that was severed by a fragment from a bomb, and he actually had to go on what you call it, go cold turkey after the war to reduce his addiction to morphine, for example. Not only that, we also create antibiotics, which today have a nasty consequence because bacteria and viruses are becoming more resistant. We seem to tell everybody to use, how do you call it, non-unnatural cures and solutions. This balance that Hiranyakashipu created was not only him, but even before him, his brother Hiranyaksha actually caused the whole planet to fall from its pedestal in space, because he was mining for gold. He dug so deep that he caused Mother Bhumi, which is the Earth, to tilt, and she just fell into the what do you call it, the universal ocean. Balance is the need for balance is mentioned in the Upanishad, mantra 14. Sambutim cha vinasham cha. It's about the necessity to have both spiritual and material knowledge. It's only by having spiritual knowledge and material knowledge that you can actually surpass death and enjoy eternal life and bliss. Having both knowledge in both matters of spirit and mundane matters, you will understand that there is a consciousness that pervades all the universe and all within it. And that's why Srila Prabhupada, named this movement International Society of Krishna Consciousness. The word is consciousness is very important. Whether you're a human being, a cow, an ant, a planet, or any other, a tree, there is a consciousness in all these things and us. Basically, if you're not Krishna consciousness, you're Krishna unconscious. So even the sun and the moon and the stars have consciousness. They shine their consciousness on us. Yeah. The presence of the divine or God is easy to forget because we are so distracted by so many things. Look at Hiranyakashipu. He was very distracted by his desire to be immortal. You know the story. He asked Brahma after he did penances for I don't know how many thousand years, 10,000 years. He did penance, standing on one toe with his arms like that in a yoga stance, and Brahma couldn't give him immortality because Brahma is not immortal himself. But Hiranyakashipu thought, I'm pretty smart. I'll get. If I ask him for different favors, that I cannot be killed by in different situations, I would be completely ironclad, as the term goes. And that's why he became so proud, so arrogant, so conceited, and he just lose his temper anytime, and he was very cruel to everybody. Basically, he wanted to be what everybody in the news is have coined a phrase called goat. He wanted to be a goat. I think they call It stands for GOAT, greatest of all time. So they say, for example, oh God, I don't know, who's a famous footballer? Footballer. Diego Maradona. They compare him with, I don't know, modern player. I don't know who you can compare with, but they try and find out who's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I know tennis because this guy called Djokovic is from Serbia, and his name is graffitied everywhere, and in Serbia and in Croatia. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to be the GOAT of his time, basically because he didn't think much of God. He didn't even believe in him. Yeah. Instead, Prahlad Maharaj, why was he fearless? Does anybody know why Prahlad was fearless? Because like the Gita describes, he sees God everywhere and everything in God, and what if you can be like that, you're not lost to God, and neither is God lost to you. Yeah, I think it's Yomam Pashati Sarvatra Sarvancha Mayi Pashati Tasyamham Na Panashami Sachame Na Panashati. So, as I said, Krishna maintains this balance in this world. And yes, we know we're not living in good times, but look what he has done. He's 500 years ago, he came down as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gave us the Maha Mantra and our Sampradaya. But Krishna didn't stop there because he knew that things are accelerating. So he had to send someone else. He sent Srila Prabhupada, thank God. And now you are all here, Prabhupada's little soldiers or postmen. Why? Because Krishna is undefeatable. He is the undefeated champion eternally, and he will not let evil, how do you call it, rule. And so we as devotees are here to continue to keep that balance in the material world. And then why? Because it says in Prabhupada's purport, a Vaishnava can understand that nothing within this material world, not even powerful, opulent, and influential, can endure. Nothing lasts, but they can disturb, because there is as I said, there's a balance which can be easily disturbed, as we can see in the world today. Krishna will not let that imbalance endure. I don't know if you, in the news recently I read, you all know Bill Gates, don't you? He's great man. Well, England actually had an equivalent called Michael Lynch, and who sold his company called Autonomous to Hewlett Packard for 200, not rupees, $200 billion. Okay, he was recently sailing around Sicily, south of Italy, in a $56 million yacht, practically unsinkable. The yacht sank when it was hit by a freak storm. You see how, and it just shows that life is not certain for anybody. You can at any time, and as powerful as he was, he everything was lost in that one. They said it took 6 or 16 minutes for that storm. Practically, it's a tornado, not on land but on the sea, and what they call a water spout. So the sea twirls, and that boat was just twisted around and just sank. But some said it shouldn't have sank. Okay, I will stop there. Have you got any comments, observations, or criticisms to make? Anybody? Yeah.
How come you avoid the
how can we avoid being like Hiranyakashipu? First of all, Hiranyakashipu is a special case, isn't it? We know that. We can avoid by Prabhupada has given us the Maha Mantra to chant, to keep. That's our free mobile phone contact with God. Okay, every morning we phone and spend a couple of hours with Krishna. We need to keep in contact physically, not just by sound, which is Shravanam Kirtana, but also by reading Shastra, right? The Srimad Bhagvatam and the Bhagavad Gita and all the books that Prabhupada has left. Prabhupada didn't translate all the Vedas because it wasn't necessary. He gave us, because it's Kali Yuga, gave us something easy to cope with because we're so distracted. And of course, the most important thing is to good association, sadhu sangha. You know, Prabhupada always said, birds of a feather flock together, and you can tell a man by the company he keeps. You don't if you want to be spiritually strong, and you go to the temple, because the temple is like a gymnasium, health club. You train your soul to be muscular. You don't go down to the pub, for example. It's not a place to go down to be spiritually, in form. Is that okay, Dr. Babu? Anybody else? Nothing else. Ananda. Yeah. His quality is 16.1 to 16.3, but you can just look at 16.1 because everything else falls into place. Yeah. How can we follow in his footsteps? I think he mentions it later on, isn't he? In his the nine practices of devotion, Shravanam Kirtan. What? Oh, before, sorry, for 575. But it's also 23, isn't it? Text 23. I thought, yeah. Anyway, those 9 practices of worshipping and if you keep that in a constant practice, it's like if you want to. I mentioned. I was asked this some time ago. It's not easy being a devotee. You have to train at it because we have been so conditioned, because we've been here so long in this material world. The amount of dirt that covers our heart is unbelievable, and the Maha Mantra is so important because it's like the the cleaning material we have when you do the Maha cleaning. It polishes your, slowly it takes away all the grime that surrounds your heart. If you follow those 9 steps, I think that you cannot go wrong. And as I answered Dr. Japrima before in his question, you chant and read and associate with the right people. It's we cannot be Prahlad. Prahlad is a special case. He was like Srila Prabhupada. He's a child. He was there to preach to the demon children, because they basically, what you really need is to have great love in your heart for everybody and everything. I was recently asked, why is there no peace if God loves us so much? I said, it's not his fault, it's our fault. If all the animals and creatures and living entities in this world do not have peace, and this is Prabhupada's words, how can you expect peace? And you want to know, how can we be like Prahlad Maharaj? Try and follow everything that Prabhupada has given us, his teachings. You don't have to be Prahlad Maharaj, but you can be as close as possible, because you do your best, and Krishna will do the rest. Is that okay? I'm not. Yeah. 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 I think that it's good to have strict and easygoing devotees, etc. Because we are all individuals, for one, and also a devotee who's perhaps has a different need at a different time, place, and circumstance. Yeah. A strict devotee can sometimes come as a shock. I know this from experience. That it's not a rejection. It's just that um, you need something to cushion, soft at the beginning, and then as you get and then as you progress, then you'll find that a strict devotee is only your well wisher. You look at how Prabhupada dealt with his disciples differently. Yeah, he he pushed the guys that he knew could be pushed, and he cared about and he was softer on those that were more delicate and still very attached to the, the mundane life. Mundane life can be the attachments like family, body, etc. He would adjust accordingly. Kala Desha Patra, I would say, time, place, and circumstance. Is that okay, Prabhu? Okay. Nothing else? I wish you all a happy Ekadashi, and Thank you. Hare Krishna.